Hi beautiful people, it's Bridget. Welcome back. So today we are trying a new eyeshadow palette out. Today we're testing out the Canyon palette from Alter Ego. I thought I was holding it upside down for a second there. But today we're testing out this palette, which is super pretty, and oh my gosh, up close before I even touch it is so crispy looking and nice. So today we're testing out this palette. It is a dupe for a Natasha Denona bronze palette, which retails for $65. This palette retails for $16, but you can also save even more money, bring it down to $14.40 if you use my code porcelain down below on their site. So yeah, I do put a code with them. I'm not going to sit here and press it on you, but if you do order from them, you want to use it, I'd appreciate it greatly. But today we're going to see if this palette is worth saving over $50 on. Because like the bronze palette for Natasha Denona looks really pretty. And here's two examples of these swatches of this palette that I see from the real Natasha Denona palette. So we're also going to do palette swatches of this one as well. So let's go ahead and start off with the swatches. We'll test out how they perform on the arm, which is not like the best test of it. And then we're going to get started with an eyeshadow look. I was thinking like a cut crease for this, but then like a lot of the colors are similar. So I think we're gonna do like a nice halo eye moment, but let's go ahead and get started with the swatches before we get started with the look. Ooh, also side note, if you haven't seen, I just did a video on the Blooms palette that just came out, which is due for Natasha Denona Love palette. So if you wanna see a video with this palette, I'll leave a link down below, but yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so here are these swatches of the Alter Ego Canyon palette up close. I think overall they all have like a really pretty shine to them because most of them are shimmers. I will say this last shade in the palette seems more like a topper to me, like a shimmery topper, which appears to be like a kind of a gray-y shade. It just looks more like a satin topper. The rest of them are really pretty. I would say maybe this matte isn't like, oh, this isn't even matte either. This is the, it's another satiny kind of dark shade right here. Isn't my favorite in the world, but these two shades are kind of like a topper looking shade. The rest of them are really pretty mattes and shimmers, and I really like this pink one. That one looks really cute. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with the look now. My eyelid is already primed and it's not creasing yet, so let's go ahead and get started before it does. We don't have like a light matte shade in here to help me set my underbrow bone area, so we're just going to skip that today. I'm going to start off with the shade Rattlesnake and Desert Sun, so I'm going to take both this shade as well as this one. So I'm going to mix a taupey and more of an orangey shade, tap off my excess, and I'm going to put this all over the crease really high up so that when we add more things to our halo eye, let's get you closer. Ooh, too personal. So when you go closer, or we do our halo eye, we have like a color peeking through. Also, I do have a bunch of dryness on my eyelids, so hopefully it doesn't affect my blend too much, but I couldn't wait to film this. I'm filming so many looks, like I'm in the middle of a 4-look video for the Animal Crossing Colourpop thing. And then I've also been testing these things, and it's been really harsh on my skin, which is already dry from the winter time. So if my blend isn't perfect on this, we'll see if it performs better on the parts of this eye. Because right now it looks good, but I'm just worried about my dry skin. Also, this looks really nice so far. Like, I'm really happy with it. I like that the yellow or the orangey-ish shade isn't getting lost with the kind of normal taupe shade. It's also very pigmented. Like, I'm having no problems having to build this up, and it's blending out really nicely so far, which honestly, it was the Blooms palette, which I tried out earlier this week, that I was really worried about being harder to use because those colors are more complicated. This one I was hopeful that the formula would be good, and with these first two shades it does seem like that. So I'm going to wipe this off on my arm because I'm a professional YouTuber. And honestly, so I have a qualm with this palette, but I know it's a dupe palette, so I know this is how the Natasha Denona one's made. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 5 mattes, and I've already used 2 of them. So honestly, if you look at the palette, it's so many shimmers. Like, we'll see if I can do this without looking at it. These 2 are mattes, this one's a matte, this one's a matte, and then this one we just used as a matte. But all the rest are shimmers. So I feel like there's a lack of, I really wish this one here was a matte too. Like, I want a really deep matte shade, but we don't have that. But making a mess with the shade already. So I think I'm gonna take Mule, which is the darkest matte we have. It's a little more on the warm side, but it is gonna match a lot of the shimmers. So I'm gonna take this and start adding it to the inner and outer portion. I'm gonna connect it over the middle. So I'm gonna put this lower than we put the other one. I'm gonna pack it on a little bit before I start blending it out, but I kind of like the tone of this. It's kind of like a brick-ish tone to it. I'm just gonna put this everywhere in my crease, making sure I don't neglect this inner portion. That's how you really get the halo eye, because honestly, if I focused a lot of this color on the outer portion to look a normal, not halo eye, if you focus it in the inner portion too, you kind of get that all over effect that you really want. And I think because there's so many shimmers, I'm not even gonna worry about blending on the lid, because we'll just put a shimmer on the lid, honestly. I wish we didn't have to. Like, we could do a nice halo eye with just a beautiful shimmer in the middle. But our options aren't as good. But I'm hoping we can still get a halo eye look out of this. I don't know if it's really gonna pop because so many of these shimmers are very, very close together. There's not one that just screams like the highlight shade. This looks really bright on camera, but it's super, there you go, you can see it's super dark. Like, none of these colors really white highlighty shade in the center or something, you know? But I'm gonna still try to pull this look off. I do like how this color is performing though, and I do get the color scheme as a dupe, so I can't complain about what it is, but I'm going to anyways. This is a great workday color scheme though, I will say that. All right, I think I'm just gonna call that good. What do we think? All right, so what I wanna do now is I'm gonna take this NARS number 7 brush. This is dry, I haven't done anything with it. And I'm gonna try to pick up a shimmer for the outer and inner portion of the lid. We'll wet it for the like highlight shade in the center. So what I wanna do now, looking at this palette, it's kinda hard to guess like what I wanna use on it because I don't really know. So I guess that this shade's kinda calling to me, and I kinda like the red tone with like yellow reflect in it. So this is Plateau. So I'm gonna pick this up on the dry brush, kind of coat it a little bit, and I'm gonna pack this on. Ooh, I love the redness to it. Okay, because it looks like a red with yellow glitter in it, and that's exactly how it shows up on the lid too. So I'm gonna put this everywhere except the center of my lid. This shade's really pretty. I regret nothing. I think that brick shade we used for the crease too, called Rosette, matches as well. I know I probably picked the one shimmer that's not actually a gold in this palette, but it's not a gold palette, it's a bronze palette, and bronze has shades of red in it. Making excuses for my color choices. Now with this other side, which I just dampened, I'm going to go ahead and like try to make a little pop. So I'm gonna take, let's take Cliff, because it's the most like gold shade in here. Again, this one looks bright on camera, but when you see it like in real light, it's dark. So I'm gonna take this one, which is Cliff, which is the brightest gold we have. I'm gonna pick it up. It's really picking up well on this brush. Can you even tell? And I'm gonna pop this, since it's slightly damp, in the center, and I'm gonna bring it up into the crease. I mean, it's cute. I don't even know if we can tell. I can't, my eyesight has been so terrible lately. I think, honestly, I've heard this is a thing. I've never heard of someone actually having this issue, so y'all can tell me this. That I've heard that birth control can change your eyesight. Is that a thing? Because I swear since I changed my medication, my eyesight has been different. Like, I wear contacts every day because my eyesight naturally is just horrendous. But I've heard changing your medications and stuff can actually alter your eyesight. And now, like, when I'm filming and stuff, I have a hard time focusing. Like, my eyes don't want to focus. They're slightly blurred, especially on one side. So I'm wondering if that's a thing. If y'all have ever had that happen to you or heard of someone having that happen to them, let me know. I Googled it. It said it's a thing, but I've never personally known anybody to have that happen. Or, you know, most people I know have good eyesight and I don't. I'm also going to take that same blending brush with no extra product just to blend everything together. So this is the top lid right now. We can see a little bit of yellow highlight. I think it looks really pretty. So for the lower lash line, I brought this big old shader smudgy brush. This is the Eva Mine. It's huge. It's from Sigma. Again, you can use my Sigma affiliate link too if you want to. I'm gonna, okay. So I was like, I should go into this yellowy shade, but we use that. So I'm gonna go into Earth, which is another matte down here, which is a little bit more of a, slightly more on the mustardy side. I'm gonna just dust this under the lower lash line. Again, big old brush, so I'm just gonna like burr down here. It looks good. It looks good. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of Mule, which is this matte right here. Tap that off, and I'm gonna do that in the outer portion. All right, so my eyeshadow is done now. I mean, it could be slightly more blended, I think, up here, but I mean, I'm not worried about it really. It looks fine. So let's do the rest of my look now. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit now that we're not focusing on my eyeshadow. I'm just gonna, I usually just go off camera now at this point. But I figure I could just finish up my eye look with you guys in case you're wondering what I do, which is basic, just throw on mascara and lashes, I guess. But I got this lash curler from TJ Maxx a while back. It's from Kala. And I didn't realize how expensive lash curlers were. Like in general, like you go to TJ Maxx and they're like $5 still, which makes me feel like in real stores like Ulta and Sephora, they're probably like $20. Which seems like a lot for a lash curler. Like it literally doesn't, I mean, I feel like it doesn't do anything for my lashes. You know, I do it every day or sometimes twice a day, depending on how many looks I do one day. I feel like it doesn't do anything. And I feel like they're really overpriced. Like I still feel like it should have been like $1, like maybe $3, $2.99. But like that was the least expensive one I found there and it was still $5. I'm like, $5 is not much money. I get it, it's fine. But like I feel like if that's at the discount store, how much is it at Ulta? And I'm scared to even look. And I worked at Ulta for a while and I couldn't tell you if they even sell lash curlers. Like I'm sure they do, one or two, especially like the Ulta brand. But is there like high-end lash curlers? Is that a thing? Is there like a Natasha Denona lash curler? Because that sounds really expensive for something just to pinch your eyeball like a medieval machine, you know? Maybe that's a little harsh, but it seems medieval that we curl our lashes. Something about it just tells me we've evolved enough where eyelashes should automatically curl on their own these days, but they don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my like liquid shadow now. This is from Milani. It is one of their Lime Plays. It's the gold one. It is 05 Golden Glam. The fact that they wrote in gold ink on a gold container is not practical whatsoever. I'm gonna put this right down here for a little pop of something something. I think this is really pretty. Like I can't stop doing this. Like ever since I started doing this technique, it's an everyday thing. It's an every look thing. I don't skip it for nothing. Sometimes I'll just take a glitter eyeliner and just like put sparks of glitter down there instead of like a full color moment. But like look how much it pops in the center of my eye. It makes my eye look so more awake. It makes me look like alive. All right, and for lashes, I'm gonna pop on these Instahoe lashes from Baddie, which I did not like at first. I did not like the style. Well, I guess I said that in my lash declutter video, but they've kind of grown on me. So for my waterline, I'm gonna take this Subzero little like goldy, slightly mustardy liner from Colourpop and put it in my waterline. I have so many Colourpop liners. But I don't know. Some of them are like loved, they're like a hit, and the other ones are like trash. And I don't really know how I feel about this one yet. I feel like I've worn it before, but I don't remember how I liked it. I don't remember which collection it came out with, you know? I don't make very flattering faces when I'm doing this, I get it. So here's what it looks like in my waterline. Like you can kind of tell it's in there, but it's not amazing. I also brought a nude one in here just in case I didn't like this one, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. So what I'm gonna show you, like one thing I've been doing lately. So if I'm gonna wear big lashes, but they don't like draw out very far, like they kind of go up, I will take, this is the Huda Beauty one, the double-ended one. I will take a liquid liner and make the babyest pathetic wing. Just like that. Like a little tiny itty bitty baby wing. Just so when my lash stops, my eye still goes out. Because sometimes you'll see the lash stop like right here. And then you have like blank eye area. So you put a baby wing there. It makes your eye look more extended, which is what I want. I messed this one up and now I'm over here trying to overcompensate. This is not good. I had it fine. It was a cute baby wing. Then this one, the end of it had too much product on it. It got all chunky and... Alright. Maybe I can just put these lashes on. We'll forget about that little wing. And I also realized... I watched the makeup tutorial today. I don't really watch makeup videos because I make them and I don't want to be like consumed by work all the time. Which doesn't make sense because I have a true crime podcast and all I do is listen to true crime podcasts all day. But I watched the makeup tutorial the other day anyways. And I saw someone putting on lashes with tweezers. I'm like, I've never been able to do that. It scares me that I'm going to stick a metal device in my eye or they like use tweezers. I'm like, that is so scary to me. I'd rather just like put it down with my fingers. Something about using a lash applicator or using especially tweezers to put on my lashes, especially like in the inner corner, freaks me out. I don't know what it is. I feel like I would just stab myself in the eye. I already have eye issues. I don't need that too. So like, I don't know. If you guys use lash applicators or tweezers, you're very brave, and just let me know down below like why that works for you. Can you apply them with your fingers, or do you just prefer the preciseness of a lash applicator? Because I will admit sometimes in the inner corner I like to readjust with my fingers because I can't really see where I'm putting it down sometimes. But I can't do, like, it's so scary. And I'm just gonna fill in where the lash stops with some liquid liner. And finishing up my face with the Bow and Arrow liquid lipstick from KVD Vegan Beauty. I just want to say Kat Von D every time. Alright guys, so this is the finished look using the Canyon palette from Alter Ego, which is a dupe for Natasha Denona's bronze palette. Honestly, this palette performed really well. Again, I would tweak the color scheme my own self, but I know it was going off of another palette, so I get why it's like the way it is. Here is the look up close. I don't know if you really can really tell there's a pop of gold in the center there, but something about this formula and the color scheme in general would be great for anybody doing a workday look, or just a really quick, easy look, or just something super bronze, because I feel like bronze is really romantic. There's something about it. My hair is a mess, but it's raining outside, so I refuse to style it. I need to wipe my teeth now. Anyways, the Canyon palette is a total like thumbs up for me. I really enjoyed using it, especially for the price tag. Like, I feel like this was even easier to blend out than say like a Colourpop shadow. I feel like it was really easy. And also this would be like a $20 Colourpop palette with all the shades in it. So I feel like it's like my favorite affordable palette that I've used recently, I would say. Overall, like their Goddess palette is still my favorite one. I say it every time, like it's the best one. Also, I was looking up like what palette this was a dupe for, and then I saw Alter Ego, please. I mean, hear me out. Natasha Denona has a glam palette, which is cool tones, and I dearly want it, but I'm not paying $65 for that. So if Alter Ego could make a glam palette full of cool tones, that'd be amazing. Especially because I like their packaging is like heavy, magnetic. I love the magnet. It just feels luxurious, and I feel like I'm using a high-end palette, but I don't want to pay $65 for it. So anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me for today's video. I hope you liked it. I think today's look came out really pretty. I'm happy with it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.